I just want to start off by saying, Poppy Playtime is something else. The game is full of giant homicidal dolls that appear all quite determined to murder and devour your puny human body. It's fair to say that the games are fairly dark.
Hello, my little sadist. The host speaking. Indeed, not to bore you terribly long, I was going through a bit of a sticky wicket in my personal life, as it were, right after writing, filming, and editing most of this video. Good news, I'm now out of the melancholy hole. Bad news, Mom Entertainment has released more material since completing the initial video. I plan to create more of these, but this video isn't really impacted by new information contained in the new game lore, so I won't add anything to this particular work. I'll diatribe more in the next one. Just letting the audience know this video contains only lore up to chapter 3 of Poppy Playtime. Thank you for your time and enjoy the video.
Children, mind you, do not have fully developed prefrontal cortexes, and your bright idea is to put their minds inside the bodies of potential killing machines. Huggy Wuggy is purported to be nearly 1,800 pounds and 18 feet tall. What idiot thought it was a good idea to put the mind of some snot-nosed child in the body of an 1,800 pound, 18 foot tall machine? I will never know. Children who are also likely to be the victims of neglect and abuse. Perfect! Toy company, what does this actually have to do with making toys? Ugh. Just because something is scary in horror fiction does not actually mean it's a good idea in practice. But you know, we're not here to dissect the logic of the game.
But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory.
Okay, ADHD rant over. We are here today, in fact, to talk about some of those giant toys. They are created in what is called the Bigger Bodies Program. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the many crimes of the Playtime Toy Company.
Here are some cute kittens. Please like and subscribe so my master doesn't beat me again.
Everyone knows Huggy Wuggy and Poppy Playtime, but are your children safe from Playtime Co.'s latest toy? What you've seen here is Playtime Co.'s own Smiling Critters, a limited series cartoon meant to celebrate the release of the toys sharing its name. Yet both now face the fire sparked by the inclusion of one key member. This is Catnap. And like the others of his line, you just pull his little tail and seems innocent enough. However, parents across the country report their children experiencing strange and often violent nightmares. And beside them, their little, grinning Catnap doll. Now, with controversy growing, Playtime Co. has announced the recall of all Catnap toys from the Smiling Critters line. His image cleared from all promotional material. But Damage already done, will disappearing be that easy? The exact cause of these incidents still unknown, only one thing appears glaringly certain. Your children are not safe with catnap.
Hello, my name is Paris. This is my brand new show, Down the Rabbithole, where I take a deep dive into the messed up, jump down the proverbial rabbit hole, and see what's on the other side. Throughout the series, I will explore the dark lore of games and films, not limited to the realm of fiction, and also delve into dark historical events, true crime, and cults. But today, we're here to talk about giant homicidal toys from the Poppy Playtime series, particularly the Smiling Critters and the other experiments from the Bigger Bodies initiative, such as Boxy Boo. I fear before we get to all of that, we need to set the stage and give exposition. It's actually quite a lot of stuff. What is in practice a dumb mascot horror game about killer toys? The lore is deep and full of terror, my dudes. Yeah, I'm no parent, but if my child's plush toy was ejecting a red smoke that was causing nightmares, I think I would be slightly concerned. Who is Catnap, I hear you ask? What are the Smiling Critters? Let me explain. Sometime in the 1990s, dates are unclear, the Playtime company released their new line of plush toys, the Smiling Critters. Known for their large mouths and each with a unique scent, they were designed to aid young children in going to sleep. These plush toys clearly take inspiration from such 1990s toys such as the Care Bears, My Little Pony, and Strawberry Shortcake. Catnap, the little plonker in question, is meant to emit a lavender scent, but instead emits a red cloud of literal nightmare fuel. Why are the cat plush toys that are targeted at children emitting a red gas that causes people to scream and hallucinate? Well,
my name is Harley Sawyer. I'm called the Doctor. When I look at this company we've built, I do not feel proud. Declining profits, failed experiments, people are constantly seeing things they shouldn't. How is that anything less than complete failure on our part? It's pathetic. Now we're understaffed, safety protocols are being abandoned, workplace incidents are common. We can't avoid a lawsuit forever. We need to deal with all of these issues at once. I'm here now with a solution. The Bigger Bodies Initiative. Giant toys. We can increase our workforce and simultaneously decrease the number of lawsuits and people on our payroll if the people we have working aren't people. Put me in charge of it, and I will save this company.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
what does this have to do with a bunch of 90s plush toy knockoffs, I hear you say? I'm getting to that. Stick with me. And again, I need to rant about the questionable motivations of fictional villains. So his big brain idea is to perform surgery on people against their will, and this will somehow result in less lawsuits. Are giant toys more productive? I wasn't aware that an 18-foot tall blue fuzzy man-eating doll was more efficient in the workplace than a normal human being. What time frame was it that the Big Body Initiative started? The early 1990s? Well, I friggin' hope Huggy Wuggy can operate a fax machine. Anyways, they need material to create these creatures, and by material, I mean human beings. Enter the Home Sweet Home Orphanage, a facility where they kept children alive and captive for said experiments. In this case, they used the brain and sensory organs of a troubled orphan to make the giant hulking cat toy. I'm sure everything will be just fine. He was biologically engineered to emit the red smoke spoken of before. It was meant to easily induce a state of sleep with the children, so it would be easier to adopt for the experiments. Whilst it did put the children to sleep, it had a nasty side effect. It would induce hellish hallucinations and nightmares in its subjects. Which brings us to the plush toys. It's not stated how, but somehow there was a mix-up at the factory with the lavender scent and the red nightmare gas.
You are stupid. You are stupid. And don't forget, you are stupid.
That gas can't be that bad. Well, okay, so we got these cat toys that are meant to emit a lavender scent, but emit this red smoke instead. This mix-up resulted in a substance which some might consider to be a chemical weapon being exposed to the general public, i.e. millions, via this purple plush toy. Now, I hate children, but not that much. Now, that is a grade A. So much for making the company more money and having less lawsuits. The other colourful fuzzy are Dog Day, Bobby Bear Hug, Crafty Corn, Bubba Bubbavent, Hoppy Hopscotch, Kickin' Chicken, and Picky Piggy. Ooh, so much alliteration done. It is unknown what year the bigger body smiling critters were created. However, according to a cross-department report written in February 1991 and found in-game, Dr. Sawyer and a few of his colleagues first talk about introducing the Bigger Bodies Initiative version of Catnap to the orphans. So at the very least, the critters have been around for some time at this point. I guess this Catnap massive recall happened sometime after February 1991, as I don't know exactly when they started producing this red toxin. But who cares? Now that we've got a metric ton of exposition out of the way, let's talk about the lore and fate of some of these smiling critters and other Bigger Bodies toys. Now, throughout Chapter 3 of the game, you come across promotional cardboard cutouts of the critters. Clicking on them reveals cryptic messages that gives clues to their eventual fate. I think enough much more popular YouTubers have played the original clips from the game. Instead, I opted to use some AI voiceover work to give you a flavour of these messages.
I'm Bubba Bubba Fett. Hey, I remember you. An elephant always remembers. Want to know what I remember about you? Apahaya. Fuck, I'm dead.
Okay, let's go through these one by one and try to sift through the enigmatic language. I may have taken some artistic license. Bubba states that he remembers the player character, another clue hinting that our nameless protagonist is a former employee of the Playtime company. He asks if we know what he knows about us. Shady. Before it can be revealed, though, there is a blood-curdling death scream. This will be a theme amongst these cardboard cutouts.
Hey, I'm Kickin' Chicken. Want to go outside and hang out? It's looking pretty rad outside. I've never been outside before. Will you come with me? I'm scared. Here, follow me. I'll step out first. Oh, noes.
Next up, Kickin' Chicken starts off with pretty innocuous stuff. Again, he states he's never been outside before, sounds nervous, and asks the listener to go with him. He goes outside. Another blood-curdling scream. Sus. Starting to build a narrative here.
I'm Hoppy Hopscotch. Wanna try hopping to the moon with me? On 3 with me. 1, 2, 3. Hey, didn't get very far, did we? Again. 1, 2, 3. Nope, still didn't make it. Listen, this won't stop until we make it to the moon. 1, 2, no. Don't look at your feet. None of that matters. Again. Jump. Juwuwawumum.
Hoppy Hopscotch implores the listener to jump with her to the moon. What exactly she means by the moon is unclear. On one of the attempts, she scolds the listener for looking at their feet. She attempts to jump again, and we are met with a scream.
She did!
Hi, I'm Crafty Corn. Can you help me with my painting? Pass me the blue, please. Gee, thanks. Now, can you give me some red? More red, please. Out, but we can't be out. You're hiding more red from me. I know you are. Give it here, you little shit. Ah, now that's much better.
Now, Crafty Corn is an interesting one. Her dialogue is even more cryptic than some of the others. It's generally agreed upon that when she talks about red paint, she is in fact talking about meat, or blood, or food, a la other toys. There's also a static scream when she exclaims, "Give it here." I suspect it's her ravenous hunger which all the toys are subject to. More on that later. Afterwards, she appears fine. It is heavily implied she ate and murdered another sentient toy. Whether it's one of her fellow smiling critters or another random toy, we don't know.
Dog Day says, "Such. Go. As far as you can. Why are you just standing there? You can't be here. You can't stay."
We share a scene with Dog Day in-game, so unlike the others we can actually speak to him in person. He states that he opposed Catnap and the prototype which resulted in his dismemberment and imprisonment. It is implied that some toys rebelled against the rule of the prototype, but details are scarce. Whether there was a formal rebellion, or if Dog Day acted alone is unclear. The voice note indicates he was trying to help other toys escape, which was against the rules of the prototype.
Hi, I'm Bobby Bearhug. Wanna know how much I really love you? I love you to the moon and back. I'm, well, crazy about you. I'm lost without you. I've been lost a really long time. Please, take me with you this time. You won't leave me, will you?
So Bobby is really interesting. She talks about going to the moon and back. Who else talks about the moon? Hoppy. She says she's crazy about the person in question, is lost without them, and has been lost for a really long time, imploring whoever is listening at the other end to not leave them alone. There's no scream though. Personally, I think Hoppy and Bobby had some kind of close relationship. Hoppy attempted to escape. For whatever reason, Bobby did not join her. Now it sounds like she's left alone, alive, in this decrepit facility. According to her page in the orientation handbook, Bobby, aka Experiment 1186, during early experimentation, they struggled to get her sensory organs to work properly. From the sketch, she looks similar to Catnap, and it is confirmed that Boxy is indeed the first of the Bigger Bodies initiative. They clearly ironed out the issues by the time Dog Day was made. Perhaps we will get more information and see her in Chapter 4.
Hi there, I'm Picky Piggy. Let's eat. McDonald's? Yeah. Grilled chicken? Down the hatch. Seared elephant? Yum. Flayed unicorn? Still hungry. Hey, what do you say you and I be friends? Get in ma, Billy.
Picky Piggy, in the actual voice recording, she first mentions roast beef. Next she mentions grilled chicken. Still a common food. Next, seared elephant. Not so common. It's here we can surmise she had a hand to play in both the demise of Kickin' Chicken and Bubba Fett. Finally, she mentions flayed unicorn. So I guess at some point she whacked Crafty too. Again, at the end of the voice note, no scream. Was Piggy working on behalf of Catnap in the prototype? Was she assigned to take out these toys? Were the meat of these toys given to her as a reward for loyalty? We don't know. Whilst we can formulate a general picture of the overall fates of the other smiling critters, there are still quite a lot of missing details and missing specifics. Many of the specifics are likely to be left vague, as I can't see it serving the main plot. But I strongly suspect we will see Piggy and Bobby again. What about the notorious Catnap's backstory? Catnap, formerly known as Theodore Gramble, was an orphan at Home Sweet Home. At some point, Teddy befriends the prototype. This so-called friend then manipulates an impressionable young child into assisting it in its escape attempt. Teddy fails due to, being a kid. The prototype saves Teddy's life, who wouldn't have been in harm's way if he wasn't manipulated in the first place. Following this so-called rescue, Teddy then becomes madly devoted to the prototype. The scientists, in their wisdom, then deem that it is a smart choice to put the mind of a child who attempted to assist a homicidal arm monster in an escape attempt into the body of a giant cat monster. The idiot scientists and researchers at this damn toy company. To quote a brilliant man from a brilliant film,
you stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
During this procedure, they fit Catnap with the previously mentioned nerve agent, sleepy gas. Something gives me the feeling that this is not FDA approved. So, yeah, Catnap was being used to put orphans to sleep with a red gas that causes hallucinations and nightmares so they can transplant various organs into the bodies of giant sentient toys. Why? Why though? To create weapons for the military? To push the boundaries and limits of medical science? No. They just wanted free labor. All of this tomfoolery abounds because they wanted hulking toy slaves. It's not the language they use, but it's what it boils down to. All this impractical, difficult, and highly illegal nonsense because they wanted slaves. It makes no sense. Just hire interns and pay them with exposure. It's what I do. We briefly talked about Boxy's the first in line of the actual Bigger Bodies initiative. We must go back to our dear friend, Dr. Sawyer. Remember? Our good friend, who thought it would be a good idea to play God in an effort to improve the bottom line of his parent company. Somehow, this idiotic mad scientist was able to create Boxy Boo. It is indicated in the "Your Gift Has Finally Arrived" VHS tape that the Bigger Bodies version of Boxy was created sometime after March 1991. Boxy Boo, who is made, by the way, to get rid of troublesome employees. Yes, toy company, we really need to dispose of those meddling employees that know too much so we can avoid all those lawsuits related to lack of safety protocols. Wait. Whatever. In the voice recording from earlier, the good doctor also stated he wanted to tailor Boxy's appetite to human flesh, possibly explaining why formerly human creatures are so gung-ho about eating people. These idiots thought it'd be a good idea to bioengineer these creatures to want to eat humans. I thought scientists were meant to be smart.
You are stupid. You are stupid. And don't forget, you are stupid.
They used Boxy to whack Roman's stall. I wonder how many other investigative employees were also whacked in this fashion by a jack-in-the-box with teeth. I want to take a minute to talk about Poppy Playtime herself, even though she existed before the Bigger Bodies initiative. In-game, if you read a document about Experiment 814, you get some lore that may explain the mysterious origins of these strange human toy hybrids. Elliot Ludwig, the founder of the company, documents what happens during an experiment where a dead rat was submerged into a poppy flower preservative gel mixture. The test subject ends up being unresponsive and is deemed a failure. Elliot Ludwig also writes an analysis on how he still sees potential with the gel, even after countless failures. Its unusual properties had also encouraged Ludwig. The note ends with Ludwig questioning if something larger, like a human, were to be experimented with this poppy gel. It is highly probable Poppy was created sometime after these documents were created. Despite her small size, she's the only sentient toy we've seen thus far who appears to be sane, intelligent, relatively stable, and has complete control of her motor functions. Sure, she's a bit dark after you defeat Mummy, but wouldn't you be happy that the giant homicidal spider monster that kidnapped us is dead?
Obey the rules, or I'll tear you apart and eat your insides while you're still alive.
I think Poppy is manipulative and has ulterior motives, sure, but I don't think this is a sign of pathological darkness or mental breakdown. From the information we currently have at the end of Chapter 3, it seems like she's on a revenge arc. She witnessed mass murder and was in prison in a glass box for a decade. All things considered, she's doing great. For that matter, Dog Day was doing great. Mentally, anyway, how he is able to string a sentence together after having his limbs lopped off and being eaten alive by little bastard whilst being suspended in a cage. Maybe these scientists also program mental fortitude in their subjects. Lol. It suggested that the secret to making a sentient toy without crippling defects was lost without Elliot Ludwig. It must be noted, though, that the violence and bloodlust in later toys is not a bug, it's a feature. That's the thing about most of these creatures. The design choices are odd for fabricated workers for a toy factory. Huggy Wuggy was specifically engineered to be used as a violent countermeasure in his role as security, but why not just hire normal security guards? Surely they are less of a risk than this thing, which is designed to kill. If you look at the mini Huggies, they have no teeth, suggesting that the rows of teeth we see inside Huggy Wuggy himself is a deliberate design choice that these mad bioscientists made to make the big one even more lethal. Furthermore, what's the reason that they decided to give Mommy long legs arachnid-like characteristics? Her main job description is to babysit kids, right? Why does she shoot webs? Why does she liquefy the innards of her victims and keep them around as a snack like a spider? What does this have to do with safeguarding abducted orphans? Toy company, what does any of this have to do with making frickin' toys?